Hello, and welcome to Trancey Talk. It's gonna be a good one because we're going to be talking about one of my favorite subjects or techniques with hypnosis. We're going to be talking about fractionation. So, before we start, I'd like to first test out the stream and make sure you're all here. So, say hi in the chat if you can hear me. And yeah, let me introduce myself. If you haven't figured out yet, I'm still kind of new to this thing, so hopefully you'll be patient with me. Anyway, I'm the Great O. I am I'm 25 years old and I've been doing hypnosis for, over 8 years now. And you can definitely check, if you're here, then you've probably checked a lot of my files, or, this will be the start of you checking out my content on here. And you'll also find a lot of stuff on Twitter, so definitely follow me on there and subscribe to the channel, and you'll find the most recent and definitely the more intricate and quite interesting and I'd say immersive files and content in on Patreon. So it would be awesome if you go and check all of these out. Hello, Kali, and hello, Kiki. And okay, something I'll definitely have to give a heads up for is I'm really sorry if I say your name wrong. That might happen. But yeah, Kali says fractionation is the best, and I absolutely agree. I absolutely love fractionation, and well, we're gonna be talking a lot about this today. And hello, Kiki. Hope you're all doing well. So, I've asked on Twitter if you're trying to define what fractionation is to someone new to hypnosis, how would you describe it? And I'm really glad that many people answered, and they've really given interesting and quite, well, I'll read them out to you and we can actually discuss them all. And I'd love to hear your own definitions and your own insight about it. Kali says, "You're doing great, oh. I'm seeing the pun here, and I like it." So yeah, uh, yeah, okay, and yeah, you will also find the link to the tweet that I just mentioned in the description. So if you want to check it out for yourself, go ahead. But here are some replies of how people would define fractionation to new people or people who just are being introduced to the hypnosis community and hypnosis in general. Uh, Cult says it's hard to describe. I guess it's going up and down so much that you think you know where you are mentally, but you eventually realize that you're just perpetually fuzzy and suggestible. And yeah, I'd say that's a pretty good description for it. I always love to describe it as a roller coaster ride, and it's like going up and down a ride, just like going up when you wake up and then dropping again when you fall. So that's just part of my description of what fractionation is to me and how I like to envision it. Kiki says I became an easy, and I'll definitely butcher this word, uh, somnambulist. I I know what it means, but I absolutely have no idea how to say it. But yeah, it basically means that uh, you become a super easy and fall quite deep in trance. And she became easy to experience that for her or for them. Sorry if I say a wrong pronoun. But yeah, fractionation definitely helped them. Kali says fractionation is cool because of how different everyone experiences it. And exactly, she said like old hypnosis, I guess. And that's right. Fractionation, like any other experience or technique or anything really, it's different how everyone or each one of you would experience it and how they would describe it. June in July says hello. Hello, June. Welcome to the stream, and I hope you enjoy your time. Now, Kali answered this tweet and said, it's like dropping into trance and waking up, then dropping again on repeat until your brain is so scrambled you're not sure if you're awake or in trance or what's going on. But it's totally fun. And yeah, it is totally fun. And that's exactly how it is. It's just going up and down and up and down over and over and over again. That's how, well, that's really the easiest description of it. It's just continuous dropping and waking up. And well, it can be a fast or slow motion, which by the way, we will demonstrate at the end of the stream. And that's how it goes, really. That is the basic and most plain description of what fractionation is. So uh, you have Hypnotic Houdini, who basically said the same exact thing. They said that it's up and down and up and down and up and down, slowly wearing away any mental barriers via iteration. And yeah, that is it. That's pretty much how it is. It's simply just experiencing it by going up and down continuously and getting lost in this hazy and fuzzy experience and no longer being able to identify your state of mind. Now, here's a very good one. This one, especially if you're a gamer, which, well, I am, would make an interesting discussion and might also make a lot of sense. So, Chris from Chaotic Hypnosis says, this one requires some gaming background, but playing Souls-like games have been described as beating your head against a brick wall repeatedly until the wall gives in and falls down out of pity. Basically that, but with your brain, and the wall is ability to wake up and think. So basically what they're trying to say is that you're continuously bombarding someone's brain and someone's mind with going down in trance and waking them up, then going back in trance, and so on and so forth, until the wall, which is their ability to wake up and think, becomes super distorted and they're just unable to think. So Kali says, do you have a favorite induction to do fractionation? And I'd say I have a different array of favorite inductions regarding that. I love like the fast, quick-paced fractionation where I just go on a monologue where I continuously talk to you, dropping you, and then waking you, and then dropping you, and then waking you. And yeah, we will probably experience that today. And also, I do like the slow and methodical way of just slowly talking to someone and slowly dropping them, and after that I wake them up only to slowly bring them down again. That's basically how it goes. It's again a roller coaster. Iki says, hey, yeah, I get very suggestive under fractionation. It's so fun and you go super deep into trance. Hypnosis. It helps to give a trigger if you decide to place one into subjects. And yeah, that is right. Fractionation and pretty much any experience under hypnosis, if it's done right and done in a correct and definitely safe way, it can become a very good and good ground to start building from and start giving your subjects some triggers or commands or suggestions depending on what you agree with the subject on doing. So yeah, that's definitely a good concept for it. Kiki also continues and says it helps when fractionating someone who's an analytical types as well. And that's actually a good topic. Talking about different mindsets or like the analytical people and who is like how people envision or experience hypnosis. Like you've got, for example, the analytical mind, you've got creative minds, you've got a bunch of different types or ways people perceive information or experience hypnosis. So that is a very good topic that we can actually discuss, and it can be a very fun topic to talk about in a future episode. And that just means I'll write it down in my list of topics that we will hopefully discuss all. And that also reminds me, if you have a certain topic you'd like to talk about or discuss, I'd love to hear about it. I'm always happy to hear about your ideas and about what you want to see or hear or experience. So yeah, moving on after that uh Souls-like description, we've got Lux, who said, "You know that feeling when you're fallen asleep, but you keep shaking your head and waking up for just a second. But you start to fall back asleep only to wake up, only to fall asleep. It's like that." And she continues and says, "And it happens again and again until the line between awake and asleep are blurred, and you can't figure out if you're dreaming or awake." And that's a wonderful description. It's it's basically that. It's that experience and that feeling of just when you really want to sleep but you're fighting it for whatever reason. And we'll get to a quite similar definition to that I also liked. But yeah, it's basically that. It's basically just fighting the urge to stay awake, although you're being bombarded, or, well, depends on the situation, but you're having this compulsion to go to, well, trance rather than sleep. Kali also adds and says, do you have any favorite triggers to implement? And have you ever had an experience where fractionation didn't take someone deep into trance? Well, starting with the second part, yeah, I've had an experience where fractionation didn't really work. It's more of how to say it. It's more of that the timing wasn't bad, but it was such a surprise for them that they didn't register it was fractionation. I was trying to fractionate someone before, and as we were talking, I decided to go for the more uh, fast paced one, and I snapped my finger quickly, but they just looked more baffled than actually going into trance. They were trying to register what just happened, and it took them a second. So yeah, that's why it didn't work out, because it was a surprise. And that's something that is something. Sometimes not just fractionation, but with any uh hypnosis experience or experience in general. Sometimes the surprise of it, or the it coming out of nowhere, is such it makes people actually forget or not focus on the intended thing you were trying to go for or do. So yeah, that is my failed attempt at a fractionation experience. And hey, look, we've got 6 viewers and we also got 4 likes. So come on, guys, like this stream, like this, well, I guess, podcast and this episode. And also, if you'd like, I'd be so happy if you shared the link and told others that we're streaming now, so they can come and join and have fun with us. So yeah, that was the first part of your question about a failed experience with fractionation. The other part is favorite triggers to implement. That's also another topic we should uh, discuss later, but like your favorite triggers, what you would like to, like, what are the things you like to experience and be triggered to feel. But for me, my favorite triggers, or well, they are my most basic, but they are fundamental to when I have a partner and I work with them. My favorite ones is to basically just start planning out for future experiences and future trances with giving my subjects it's quite common, but I make sure that it's safe for them to experience it, and it's that whenever I snap my fingers or whenever I type the word snap between asterisks, when they're awake, they fall in trance and go deep, and when they're in trance, they slowly wake up and feel so good and happy and wonderful, having enjoyed and had a good time in their trance. So that's the most basic, but it's one of the fundamental triggers I give subjects when we're starting up. After, of course, we discuss it and they agree to it. Kali says fractionation turned into a confusion induction. And yeah, I'd say so. That's basically what happened in that, although it was also an unsuccessful confusion induction. So I guess it was a fail. And then Kiki adds a plastic drone doll of me being controlled without my control is in my area of want to try out more. And having your willpower being overpowered uh slash withered away, letting go is my favorite. And yeah, that's a good thing. Or well, that's something that I'm sure we'll also get to talk about in so much more details and have like I'm building a list of all the episodes and all the topics I'd love to talk about, and I'll be posting every month because at the moment I'll Trancey Talk is gonna be a monthly thing. Maybe in the future it will be something bi-weekly, but at the moment, because I also have a lot of work to do with my regular work and working on the hypnovirus and the fuzz, it's hard to maintain anything more than that. But yeah, I am definitely gonna be posting a poll on Patreon for patrons to vote and to choose the next episode, because starting from episode 2, it's gonna be your choice. You will be the ones who decide what the topic is from by voting on it on Patreon and choosing from 3. I believe it will be 3 topics each month. And if your topic didn't get chosen that month, I'm sure in the next month it might be the next contender. So yeah, definitely go and check Patreon. I'll post that all on the 1st of March. And also by the end of this episode, I've got some great announcements regarding what I have planned for March. So stay tuned for that. Kiki says confusion induction in fractionation is rough, especially when you're in front of a crowd. You'll drop hard for sure. Collier replies and says, I feel like if I tried getting confusion inducted, I would drop just to stop being so confused. Well, I would not be against that. That would be one way to drop because you don't want to be confused. She also adds, snaps are the best cornerstone of hypnosis for me, and I would have to join you in this club. Snaps are the best, and I absolutely love them, and maybe you will get to hear a snap by the end of the stream, so stay tuned. And now let's continue with people and their replies to that tweet. This one is a very good one. Sleepyhead, which by the way, I love the name because for the longest time this used to be my universal trigger. Like if you go check my old files, and well, for a very long time that trigger or that word was the trigger I used, just like snaps. It was a trigger that I always used to drop people and put them in trance, so a very good name. They say, sort of like that feeling when you just woken up in the morning and you're kind of awake, but also so drowsy, and it's so easy to let yourself slip right into deep, peaceful rest again with minimal prompting. And yeah, it's pretty much like that. Like, I like that a lot of the people who replied had the same idea of it. It's that feeling of being sleepy or just waking up, or basically just finding it hard to think. So yeah, that's something that I like, that a lot of people have joined and have agreed that this is the universal thing that people would agree on. And finally, Little Petals says, it's like when you take a drowsy medication, you don't want to fight the urge to give in and sleep. So yeah, again, people are basically saying the different thing, or the same thing in different ways. It's basically trying to stay awake when someone is dropping you, and then when you finally drop, they wake you up. And when you wake up, you try to stay awake, but they drop you again. And it keeps going over and over and over. So that is how it goes. That is fractionation, basically. It's just, as the last person who replied says, hypnotize, said, a switch. One moment you're on, the other moment you are a mindless, drooling pet. I'd say it depends. Maybe you are a mindless, drooling pet. Maybe you are, maybe you're just hypnotized, or maybe you're just having a good time and relaxing. But yeah, it is a switch, and I love that description of it. I love that idea of planting or putting a switch in someone's mind where where I can switch on or off as I please, as long as as long as they're happy and the subject is happy to experience that, of course. So these are the replies. These are what people thought or how people defined fractionation. And I must say, yeah, I absolutely agree with all of them. They gave the best definition of it, and I'd say if you know or if you have anyone who is new or wants to understand fractionation more, I believe this episode has definitely is definitely a good place or a good video for them to, well, more like audio, but oh well. It's good content in general for them to listen to and understand what is fractionation. And that is the idea of this podcast, really. The idea is basically to help people learn more, help people understand things more, and basically just be a good place or a good source for people, old or new, to have a platform full of different ideas and different topics for them to listen to and learn about and even experience at times. So that is what people told me and how people defined fractionation. Now let's read some of what you said in the comments. Akali said, I think it's nice to hear about the times hypnosis didn't work out. Since we're all so different, we react to things differently. It's a good reminder that not everything works on everyone. And yeah, exactly, that's something we should always remember and learn. Hypnosis, while it's awesome and while when it works out it's amazing, it's not always gonna work. It's not always gonna be a good experience to some. And there's nothing wrong with that. It might have been the dynamic, might have been the way the hypnotist approached you or the way the experience went. There's nothing wrong with having a bad experience as long as you learn from it. As the hypnotist and as a subject, by the way, it's important to learn from the mistakes you've done, and it's important to learn from the experiences you've had. And yeah, that's a very good thing to say, Kali. She also adds, don't push yourself too hard, breaks are important. And yeah, I know. Believe me, I know. I've been taking the last few days off, just playing PlayStation, basically. Uh, and I've been loving it. I can't wait, to be honest, to get the PlayStation 5, but that's a different topic for now. Uh, Kiki said, would love to be your subject sometime. I've been collaborating with some hypnotists and did some on my channel. Stage hypnotists versus online hypnotists definitely are two different styles of uses. And yeah, I'd love to collaborate. I'm always down to talking and to collaborating and doing more content, really. So yeah, uh, I'll definitely be messaging you and we can work something out and have a nice and fun collaboration. I definitely see how that goes, and who knows, maybe if things go well, you can help me in demonstrating these different ideas and different topics. So yeah, I'll message you, Kiki, and we can work things together. And for the listeners, that's how a collaboration gets done. You just talk about it, and if things go smooth and you reach an agreement, it will be a wonderful thing for us as the participants and for you as the viewers. Kiki also adds, definitely like what you've been hearing, what I've been hearing on what contents you've been working on. And yeah, I'm glad you're excited and loving it. I've got, but again, wait to the end of this episode to know what I have planned for March, because March is a very exciting and very big month for me and for the hypnovirus. And well, yeah, also for files, because I kinda have at least one of the two files I plan on doing the next month. I kinda have them planned out, so wait till the end of the episode to know more about that. I agree with Kali, don't burn yourself out. I know. Honestly, yeah, I understand how people would think that I'm burning myself out and I'm doing a lot of content and it can become exhausting. And I won't lie, it can be exhausting at times. But at the same time, I absolutely love this and I absolutely love making content and working on different stuff. And like the last couple of days, while I absolutely loved that I didn't have anything to do, I also felt that maybe I can start doing something. Like I had to actually force myself not to work on things because I felt that no, I do need that. So yeah, I'll be taking breaks. At least once a month I'll be taking a few days off. Probably gonna be by the end of each month once I'm done with all the content I want to do. Uh but yeah, it's gonna be fine, and as long as you're also enjoying my content and as long as you talk to me and tell me that you're loving what I do and enjoying it, it'll always give me motivation and give me the energy to continue working on it and doing it. So please keep on doing that because it gives me what I need to keep on going. Uh, Kali says snaps at the end of the stream, huh? Yeah, snaps are gonna occur in the stream at some point. And as Kiki says, a switch in someone's mind. Yes, please. Uh, yeah, I love that idea. A switch in someone's mind can be dangerous, yes. But as long as you're doing it safely, I believe it's gonna be an extremely wonderful experience and amazing for you and the hypnotist or the person you're working with. It's gonna be a fun time. Hypnosis can be amazing and absolutely wonderful if you have, well, A, if you trust the person you're working with and feel safe with them, and B, if the person you're working with actually knows what they're doing. So yeah, snaps and switches are coming your way soon. Kiki says snaps and fractionation is highly recommended to those who easily react to the hypnotist's auditive cues. Snapping a mind off is the best feeling you can ever have. We all overthink daily and it distresses. Yeah, I'm gonna be doing I believe, yeah, I'm gonna be doing 3 different techniques of fractionation at the end of the episode, and they won't be really long ones. Well, one of them might be, but uh, but yeah, I'll be doing them, and hopefully you'll love all of them. One Mr. Cool 21, hello. How are you? I'm doing absolutely great and amazing. Just streaming right here and talking about fractionation and what's gonna happen at the end of the stream, which, spoiler alert, is gonna be hypnosis. Caddy says, PlayStation all day. Yay. Yeah, PlayStation all day. I am a PlayStation guy, if anyone was wondering. It's been my console of choice since I was 7, so I don't think I'll be changing that anytime soon. And Kali also adds, yes, it's so nice to be able to go into trance and just relax and feel awesome. It always makes me wonder if Domstists have as positive an experience as subs. For me personally, at least, I can't really speak about other hypnotists. It's yeah, I do. For me, the enjoyment and the good feeling and positive feeling of it comes from seeing the subject actually enjoying themselves and reacting positively and effectively to what I do and the work I've been putting into the session or file or whatever it is. Just seeing people react positively to what I do makes me pretty happy and really excited to do more. Mr. Cool says, I love your picture, by the way. Thank you. Yeah, I've been meaning to talk about that. If you follow me on my socials, you'll see that I've made a rebranding of sort to all my socials, to the headers and banners, as well as the profile picture or display picture. And honestly, I've been meaning to do that for a very long time now. And it finally happened, because since this year started, I've been working on, or well, at least starting to work on making my content more focused and more, well, raise up the bar basically of what I'm doing. And I believe, at least I hope so, and you are the people who can tell me if I'm doing well or not. I've been trying to raise the bar and to actually, well, just raising my bar and the quality of what I'm doing and the files I'm doing. And to be fair, the content I post on YouTube is not my latest content. It's some of my old content that I've been posting and been rolling out slowly for YouTube. But the actual new content I've been working on is on Patreon. And I've been loving the things I've been doing, the way I'm approaching things, and the feedback I've been getting. It's definitely kept me motivated and has given me more energy and, well, more ideas on what I'm working on and what I plan on doing next. So I'm glad you do love the picture, and sorry for the monologue, but hey, I think you all enjoy my voice, and well, that's why I've been talking for almost 45 minutes now. So yeah, Kiki says, definitely willing to help you out, record it, post it, etc. Have work with what you're working on. And she asks, have work with what you're working on in March? Uh, well, I'll answer this question at the end of the uh at the end of the stream. And hello, Allison. I hope you're doing well. Gali says audio cues are my biggest weakness in hypnosis. Naps, binaural beats, music, and of course the test's voice. Yeah, that's the idea, to be honest. Like adding adding the sound effects and adding an immersive experience, creating this immersive experience using these audio cues really elevates any file, or not just in hypnosis, to be honest, in anything. That's the idea, is to make it as immersive as possible and make you feel like you are actually part or actually in what you're experiencing or what you're listening to from a hypnosis file or video point of view, at least. Mr. Cool says same. He does also love audio cues. And Allison says, I really have zero ideas for a smart task comment at the moment. A real shame. My reply to that is, oh well. And then Mr. Cool says, I also love spirals and or spiral eyes. Well, that makes at least two of us. I love filters that add spirals, and part of why I guess I love, or well, I don't love Ka or the Jungle Book, but uh I enjoy the idea of it, and how he definitely helped a lot of people uh experience or get into hypnosis rather. So yeah, I do actually. If you don't know, I have a lot of videos and pictures of, well, not only spiral eyes, but basically a lot of hypnotic content on my Twitter as well, which gives me a good opportunity to plug in my socials. So again, in case you are not yet following me on Twitter, I'd love for you to follow me there, and that's where I'm the most active and talk about all my content and all my plans. So if you're not following me there, it would be awesome if you did. And of course, subscribe to the channel, because this is where I'm posting all my new files and free content and everything. So just subscribe, and it would be awesome if you shared this stream as well as any file you enjoy from, oh my god, it's been more than 100 file I've created and posted, more than 100. Although to be fair, they're not all hypnosis. There are like 10 to 15 videos that are just announcements and stuff like that. But yeah, I've posted more than 100 video on this one channel. So it would be awesome if you do subscribe and follow me on Twitter, and it would be the best if you support me on Patreon. And I'll actually link all of these below. I'll link all my content below for you to check out, for all my socials. But it would be awesome if you supported me on Patreon, because that is really how I can actually keep on going, and I can actually continue working on all the files and all the things you love. So it would be awesome if you support, if you can, of course. So back to it. And by the way, we're approaching the end of the episode, so a trance is coming soon. Or maybe 3 different types of trance. So before I do that, let me read some of your comments and announce what I have. I'll actually trance you first and then announce what I have planned for March. But okay, Kiki says binaurals slash spirals and a very alpha hypnotic tone of voice, like the great O. Thank you. Are really like, I'd say what she meant is they really get to her and they're quite hypnotic to her. Mr. Cool adds, I remember a post you did a while back about the Demon Headmaster, and I think that would be a great role play for you to do. That's a good idea. I have like one of the things I have been thinking of and I have written down in my list is more role-playing content and more role-playing experiences. So I'll definitely be thinking and be working on a school-related. Well, I'll be working on a headmaster meeting a bad student and trying to, well, hypnotizing basically to be a model student and a role model for others. That's always a fun fantasy I think you would love. And until then, I do have the Hypno School series. If you don't know what that is, it's a series I started on Tumblr way back. It was just a bunch of different lessons you can read and follow along. The lessons were either just a bunch of instructions to follow or a script. And finally, there has been a number of files that are both on Patreon, and there are actually 1 or 2 files here on the channel that you can check out. So yeah, that's the Hypno School. And the role-playing idea of a school headmaster, I think I can do something like that. Allison says I want to like spirals, but I don't get the fascination. It's all about tone of voice and word choice for me, I think. Yeah, exactly. It's fine. It's okay that spirals are not affecting you. It's not uncommon. People have different ways of perceiving stuff and experiencing different reactions to different stimuli. So you might not feel anything when you look at the spiral, but maybe snaps or specific words really get you. So I guess it's always a balance. Kali says I still blame one of those files. His Spiral Addict was one of my first files ever, and then I was like, well, yeah, spirals are... That file definitely got a number of people's, and if you can't sense it, yes, I'm smirking and have a grin on my face because hearing that one of my files made someone really into something, that makes me absolutely happy. Kiki says fires are meant to help with the sensory overload of your senses. If you're a very analytic type, it works better with binaurals and a great voice. And yeah, I think that's a very good way to describe it. And actually, I've been thinking of changing the layout of my files. Like I'm thinking of doing something similar to this. Instead of just having the spiral, I'll be having like this new picture you can see, along with it something similar to the circle. Maybe it will be like bars or something like that, where the bars start oscillating and vibrating to the sound of my voice. So I've been thinking of changing the layout, and I'll test it out soon and see if I like it, and maybe that's gonna be the new thing that hopefully you'll all like. But now it is time for a trance. It's time for some fractionation. But before I start, uh, just so you know, like for anyone listening or anyone who will listen in the future, it's okay if you don't want to be part of the trance. You don't have to. You are always free uh, to just listen along and see if you enjoy it and see how actually people will react to it by the end. You don't really need to participate if you don't want to. So, with that being said, let's get into some fractionation. So, I'll be trying out three different uh three different ways. One is gonna be slow and methodical fractionation, where I'll take you down, then wake you up, then take you down again, then wake you up. And then I'll shift into a more fast-paced and overloady experience. And finally, there will be snaps. So let us begin. Just focus on the sound of my voice. Focus on my words and let them fill your mind. Focus on what I say and feel yourself getting lost in my voice. Feeling your mind and thoughts disappearing. Feeling my voice getting proof these pesky thoughts. Just let yourself go. Let your thoughts all disappear as you focus more and more and more on my voice, finding it harder and harder to think, harder and harder to think about anything at all except my voice. Healing yourself, letting go, slowly slipping down and letting go. Feeling your thoughts all vanishing now. Just listening, focusing, following, and falling down, deep down, falling deeper and deeper and deeper now. falling down as you dropping deep now, dropping all the way down, just closing your eyes and focusing completely on my voice. Focusing on my voice, on my words and everything I say. Deeper and deeper you go. Deeper and deeper you fall. As you find that as I count up from 1 to 5, you find yourself slowly waking up. Slowly waking up and feeling absolutely amazing. 1. Starting to wake up. Starting to wake up. Feeling amazing. 2. Finding your thoughts and senses returning to you. 3. Feeling quite refreshed and energized as you slowly wake up. 4. Waking up, your eyes opening as you stretch and wake up completely with 5. Fully awake, back to normal, energized and refreshed and feeling amazing as you slowly feel yourself dropping with 4. Dropping down slowly. 3. Feeling all your thoughts and senses vanishing as my voice fills your mind. 2. So close as you keep on falling, as your eyes flutter and you start to fall deeper and deeper and deeper now. And 1. Drop down, deep down, so deep down now as you start to wake up again. 1. Starting to wake up and return to normal. 2. Waking up fuzzier and feeling floaty as the fractionation starts to take full effect. 3. You know you're starting to wake up, but it's really hard to actually wake up. 4. Really hard to wake up, really hard to return to normal, really hard not to feel fuzzy and floaty and dazed and drowsy. With 5, you are awake, but you don't really feel awake. You don't really feel like you are fully awake. Because it's time to pick up the pace. It's time to drop down, drop deep, drop all the way under. Your eyes just close and your thoughts completely vanish as my voice fills your mind completely with all the happiness and joy and relaxation. Getting lost in my voice and words as you drop deeper and deeper and deeper just to wake up now. Waking up waking up and feeling so good, feeling amazing and refreshed and so happy as you drop again. Drop down, drop deeper and deeper and deeper as you fall and sink deep down. You fall all the way down, deeper and deeper and deeper as you wake up now, waking up feeling amazing, feeling wonderful, feeling awake, energized and refreshed, feeling so good, so happy as you drop again, dropping deeper and deeper and deeper, dropping all the way down, dropping so hard down you no longer know if you're awake or in trance because it's time to snap my finger. Waking up now, waking up as you hear that snap, only to drop again, to drop down now, dropping deeper as you wake up, waking up, feeling amazing, feeling so good and amazing. It feels fabulous, it feels wonderful, it feels so good just to drop now, dropping deeper and deeper and deeper now, dropping all the way down, deeper and deeper and deeper, just to find yourself that the next time I snap my fingers and wake you up, you will feel so good. Still quite drowsy and floaty and dizzy and fuzzy and floaty, but you will know that slowly your senses will return to you. Slowly you will return back to normal, feeling so good, so happy, absolutely loving this experience and loving this episode and so excited for the next one and to just listen to my voice more and enjoy it so much more as you wake up feeling so good right now. Welcome back. I hope you've enjoyed that. I'm happy with that. That was a good improv of 3 different, yet a bit similar techniques, to be honest, of fractionation. Going from the slow one to the fast one to the snappy one. I do hope that you like this, and I do hope that you've enjoyed this episode. And I'm so excited for the next one. And who knows, maybe sometime in the middle I'll just do a community stream, I'd call them. Just a community stream where we can talk more and I'll do more of that, but not necessarily in a Trancey Talk manner, just a quick and casual talk like the first episode we've done, where we're just chilling out and talking together. But now it's time for some important announcements. It's time to tell you about my plans for March. But before that, I'll tell you about a very exciting and I'd say quite affordable and amazing offer if you want it, because March is a very special month to me. Because it's my birthday month. I'm turning 26. I'm getting old. But yeah, it's my birthday month, and that is not all. It's also marks 1 year of the Hypno virus online. It marks 1 year of the website, marks 1 year of going live and going online with the hypnovirus. And that is why I have